Hello 7th graders, welcome back to our lessons. In today's class, we are going to keep working with Unit 10 in your student's book, pages 89 to 91, your workbook 80 to 81, in your booklet, worksheet number 9, we are going to discuss the worksheet in our online classes. So my smart students, after watching this video, you are supposed to be able to use well to make predictions, to form negative sentences using well, to form questions using well, to write a letter of application. Now let's start with our grammar for today, which is well in your class book page 89, workbook page 80, your worksheet number 9 in your English booklet. So first of all, we have the question, why do we use well? We use well to make predictions for the future. When you want to predict that something will happen, you are going to use well. So we are making predictions for the future. Together, let's discuss the structure of a sentence using well. I have the two examples. She will play with the school's team next year. They will enjoy their time in Spain. So as you can see, I have the subject at the beginning of the sentence, followed by well. Will is always followed with an infinitive verb. So after well, always use the infinitive form of the verb or the base form of the verb, followed by the complement of the sentence. So I have well, followed by the infinitive form of the verb, play, enjoy, in the two examples in front of you. So you start a sentence with subject, well, plus the infinitive form of the verb and the complement. This is the structure of an affirmative sentences. About a negative sentence. If I want to add not to a sentence with well, you are going to use the contraction want. So want is well plus not. So the structure of a negative sentence using well is going to be subject, want, plus the infinitive form of the verb or the base form, plus the complement. Take a look at these examples. She won't play with the school's team next year. They won't enjoy their time in Spain. So I am making predictions using well in a negative sentence. For the questions, as we used to, we have two types of questions, yes or no questions, WH questions. Let's discuss together how do we form questions using well. We are going to discuss the two types of questions. First of all, we are going to start with yes or no questions. The structure is as the following. Well, followed by the subject with the infinitive form of the verb plus the complement, and don't forget the question mark. Examples. Will she play in the school's team next year? And because if it is a yes or no question, the answer is going to be yes, she will, or no, she won't. Another example, will they enjoy their time in Spain? Followed by a question mark, and the answer is yes, they will, or no, they won't. Pay attention that all we have to do to form a yes or no question to switch between will and the subject. So will becomes at the beginning of a sentence, followed by the subject, and don't forget to add the question mark. And pay attention that we are using the infinitive form of the verb without any additions, the base form of the verb. Let's move to the second part, which is the WH questions. How to form a WH question for a sentence using well. First of all, add the WH question, the WH word, switch between the subject and well, the subject followed with the infinitive verb complement and a question mark. Take a look at these examples. When will she play with the school's team? And because we are using the WH word, the answer is going to be a piece of information. She will play with the school's team next year. Another example, where will they enjoy their time? They'll enjoy their time in Spain. They'll is the contraction of they plus will. A quick reminder of the WH words. We use who to ask about a person. We use which to ask about a thing. We use when to ask about time. We use where to ask about place. And we use how to ask about a process. So this is it for the questions in the form of when. Now, you should be asking yourself a question. What's the difference between be going to and will? Both are used to express things about the future. But what's the difference between be going to and will? This is what we are going to discuss now. I want you to take a look at the timeline in front of you. Let's start with be going to. If you take a look at this timeline, we are talking about now. The decision is made before now. So we use be going to when we have already decided to do something. We decided to do this thing before now. So we have already decided to do something. In the other part, we have will. Take a look at the timeline. We take the decision now at the time of speaking. So we use will when we decide to do something at the same time of speaking. So this is the difference between be going to and will is when we are using be going to, we have already decided to do something. And for will, we decide at the same time of speaking to do something. This is the difference between be going to and will. How can you figure out which to use, be going to or will, from the meaning of the sentence? Now I have the key answer for your student's book, page 989, the Explore, exercise number 1, exercise number 2, and exercise number 3. In exercise number 3, you can write your own answers because it is a question about you. So you can use your own answers. Now I want you to move to your student book, page 90. We are going to discuss the writing part in our unit. In today's writing class, I am going to teach you how to write a letter of application. But before we start, let's define what is a letter of application. A letter of application is a letter that you write to apply for a job. This letter should be written with a formal language. So an application letter, it is a letter that you write when you want to apply for a job in a company, in a school, in any place you want to work on. And pay attention that this letter should be written in a formal language. So you have to use a polite language with no contractions. Pay attention to the punctuation marks while you are writing. Why is it important to write this letter very careful? Because it is a way to introduce yourself to the place where you are going to work with. So you should give a good idea about yourself by writing a very good letter of application. Let's say that this letter is going to introduce you to the place of your future job. So it should be a very good piece of writing. Now, let's take a look at this application letter. It is a form that you can follow while you are writing. Dear Sir or Madam, I am writing to apply for a summer job at Lake Shopping Center. I saw the advertisement in the Coventry Daily News. I have experience of working in a shop. Last summer, I worked for 6 weeks as a shop assistant in a local bookshop. I am honest, reliable, and hardworking. I can send you a reference from the manager of the bookshop and also from a teacher at my school. I can start work on the 2nd of July. I look forward to hearing from you. Yours faithfully, Emily Blunt. So this is a letter of application written by Emily Blunt. She is sending it to the Westlake Shopping Center. She is applying for a job there. Let's discuss this letter in paragraphs. So, as usual, we start a formal letter by Dear Sir or Madam, and then we start writing the first paragraph. In the first paragraph, you should write what job you are applying for. So what is the job that you want? Then you have to mention where did you see the advertisement. In the second paragraph, write what experience you have. Where did you work before applying for this job? In the last paragraph, which is paragraph 3, write what are your personal qualities, when you can start your job, and a reference. A reference is someone who can introduce you to the place where you work, someone who knows a lot about you. So, as you can see, in this application letter, we started with Dear Sir or Madam. In the first paragraph, you should write what is the job that you are applying for, where did you see the job advertised. Then you can write about your experience, where did you work, and at the last paragraph, you should write about your personal qualities, your values, the manners that you have, and at the end when you can start working, and with a reference. End your letter with a phrase like I look forward to hearing from you. We discussed these phrases in unit 9. Also, you can finish it with yours faithfully, and at the end sign and write your name. This is what is an application letter. Pay attention that while we were reading, we did not find any contractions. It is a well-written letter. They paid attention to the punctuation marks, and they wrote the letter with a very formal language. Now, here is the key answer for your student book. Prepare page 90, exercise number 1, exercise number 2. The key answer for your workbook, page 90, exercise number 1, exercise number 2, and exercise number 3. These exercises are related to our grammar. The key answer for your workbook, page 81, exercise number 1, exercise 2, and exercise 3. Pay attention that exercise 3 is very important. At the end of our class, we have the day's quotation, which is written by Nelson Mandela. Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. So this is the end of our class. By the end of this class, we have finished our curriculum for this year. If you have any questions, you can send me back. Thank you and see you soon.